All right, so it's early June 2023, and I'm in the garden. Figure I'll start over in this section here where I planted a bunch of trimmings, I guess you could say, from strawberries and some rotted strawberries, and nothing came up. So I decided to plant some of these Burpee Cardinal hybrid sweet peppers. So I just planted the seeds and just covered it up with some garden soil. Hopefully they come up. In these hoops, I've got Cardinal pepper. I've got a husky cherry red cherry tomato. I think this is our only cherry or our only tomato plant. Got a Bonnie green bell. Got a jalapeno. Over here, I've got a red bell, but it's not doing so well, and it might not make it. I did purchase one strawberry plant. This is a seascape strawberry. I decided to add it to some of the strawberries that started growing in here. I brought them over from another part of the garden in some dirt that I just transferred over, and they've taken off, but I figured they could use a friend. Back here, I've got a yellow bell pepper. Here's a lunchbox orange sweet snacking pepper. And you see I've tried to make the hoops color coordinated. Here is the lunchbox red sweet snacking pepper. There's another lunchbox red. This one's smaller. It might not do so well. I've got an orange hoop on this. I might change that out. Here's a red bell pepper, in case the other one doesn't make it. And there's a purple bell pepper. That is not doing well at all. All along here, I've got Kentucky Wonder pole beans. These things are taking off. I planted them about 3 weeks ago, I think, and they're doing really well. Right here is celery that's growing from some butts of celery stalks that I just buried. I planted more Kentucky Wonder green beans along here. I'm gonna have to do some weeding. I tried to pull the daylilies back some. In this other section of the garden where I've got the lattice, I planted Kentucky Wonder seeds about a week ago. And in here, I'm trying something different. I've got a sweet banana pepper and a hot banana pepper, as well as a Better Bell 4 sweet pepper, which has been chewed on by something. The green onions that I transplanted are doing well. The red onions that I planted are starting to come up, as well as some of the onions from previous years that never really got big, but just keep coming back every year. Need to do a little weeding here. Over on this side, I haven't really buried any compost, but I did bury some green onions. I cut them back and they've been growing, so they come back pretty quick. Over here's a mint and some more strawberries from another part of the garden. In here, these should be carrots with the chicken wire around it to hopefully keep Mr. Bunny out. Raspberries are coming up, and there's some strawberries in the back. The mint plant that I got for free died, So I transplanted some mint plants that were growing in the garden in other areas, kind of wild ones, I guess you could say. And I'm hoping that they take off, because I read online that they make good deer repellent, although I did see some deer in the backyard a few days ago. The dog scared them away. Some more weeds coming up. Back here, I've got a purple bell, so I've got the purple hoop, and I've got a spot over there where I can add another bell pepper if I want to. Over here, I've got the chives. I always want to call them dill, and they make these lavender flowers at the end. These chives just get bigger and bigger every year. I'm just going to let them grow and spread. In here, I planted cilantro seeds. I decided to buy new ones instead of using the ones I've been using every year. I mean, they seem to hold up pretty good, but I just decided to go ahead and get new ones. And here is another Cardinal pepper. There's some mint that I just left here. I didn't rip it out with the weeds. I'm hoping it keeps the deer away. And over here in the red hoop is a Mardi Gras Fun Red sweet pepper. And there goes Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad. Over here, I'm not really going to try to grow much. There's a green onion that's coming up, and lots of raspberries. Some of the older raspberry plants have died, but lots of new ones have come up in their place. So really haven't done much weeding in here. The strawberries came up at first, but they're not really doing anything. You see a little flower from this one. I did weed back here, but this area is a little bit harder to keep up with, and I've just decided this year not to put a lot into maintaining it. Something new, something I've been wanting to try. I want to grow prickly pears back here. So this is listed as a cactus plant. Prickly pear is. I believe this is a prickly pear. It did say it was grown at a nursery in Michigan. I found it at Home Depot. And I planted it in some cactus soil that's available in the garden section. And then I topped it off with real dirt from Arizona. Brought it over in a 5-gallon bucket. So hopefully that helps it grow. It's an experiment. If it spreads, it's great. I might actually go get another one and put it in here and just see if it takes off. Over here in these 2 red buckets, I've got Thai hot pepper seeds. I've got a seed in each, and I've been watering the potting soil. I decided to go ahead and buy a Thai hot pepper plant just to see how well the plant does compared to the seeds, if these even sprout at all. I've had to make some repairs to the garden. Some of the landscaping lumber here was rotted and falling over. Had to put in new stakes because the stakes were rotting. I used a lot of scrap wood to kind of build up the garden beds, and it didn't really cost me a lot for it. These stakes come in I think there's maybe 12 in a pack. I can't remember what they cost, but they do the job as far as holding all this together. On the other side of the garden, I've planted Fresno pepper seeds about every 2 feet, except right in here where the raspberries are getting thick. This is just an old hoop from some pepper plant that was here last year. There's more Fresno pepper seeds in here. I have no idea if they're going to sprout at all, but I figured it's worth a try because I haven't seen Fresno peppers in 3 years at the store, and I really like having them. So I'm gonna hope for the best, but expect the worst this year for the garden. I don't know if I'm gonna buy any more plants other than maybe another prickly pear, but hopefully I have a good growing season and it yields something. Some of the bell peppers are different than what I could get at a store. So even though this garden really doesn't pay for itself as far as it being a hobby, it's rewarding not just from the standpoint of getting outside and working on a project, but also just having some produce that isn't normally available at stores. I'll post another update if anything starts coming up out of the ground. Thanks for watching.